So you could keep working with this like that, you could just keep
Okay.
going. Okay? So, or maybe sometimes some eyes, they require a little bit of a time. So sensing, does this require a little more time to kind of, just relax kind of thing. So maybe that could happen. Or maybe you could come back and just sense, okay, is something still there? Oh, it's still there. Okay. So where is the perceiving of that happening from? And probably go and dissolve that eye.
Mhm.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
perfect.
yeah. It feels almost like it's pretty much gone.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, anybody else that was on the group group wholeness process that we were doing? Okay, so with those who have joined us later, you probably had the opportunity to do a session with yourself, with in paired groups. Did you get that? I think Angela and I cannot pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Alishan?
Aslihan.
Ashlan. Okay, sorry. Sorry. So did you get an opportunity to practice?
Um, I actually get an opportunity to practice for myself. Angela, she led me.
Okay.
She didn't have an opportunity for herself because we were trying to understand if we are gonna stick on our breakout room or we're gonna go back to the main room.
Okay. So actually you had to do it both ways. So you probably can connect with Angela and do it the other way later. So what happened was a lot of us we remained in the main room because we had a glitch and we couldn't put them into breakout rooms. So we did a group thing um, there, and it worked out really well, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Even if you don't want to, you're going to put a thumbs up, right? Okay.
Deepa,
Yes.
this is Marcel. I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead.
So once you do the process,
Uh-huh.
and and that original sensation everything relaxed into awareness or as awareness, however it happened. Um, so I'm just curious and would like more information on like what happens next. Is it for this piece it's a one and done? Is it um there's another aspect that shows itself and you work with that? Is it just a piece of it is done and you have more to work to do with it? I'm just kind of curious on, okay, so whatever you worked with, that original thing, you got that relaxation into or as awareness. So now what? Then
All
what?
of the above.
Okay.
I'm going to click on all of the above because many times I'm going to speak from my experience. I think that will be more honest, more than speaking about what technically happens for everybody because I think it's very unique to everybody.
Okay.
So for me, what happens is I tend to be in awareness with what I have worked with. So that is one of the benefits of having that self-report form. So you actually remember what you worked with. I tend to forget what I worked on also. So making that, having that form. So whatever you worked with right now, if you can fill that self-report form after we finish the call, it kind of gives you a nice record of what you worked on. So be in awareness of what you worked on. And if you notice any changes with that, being that way now, having integrated that eye, so what do I experience about that particular situation going forward in life kind of thing. So it's all about being in awareness about what changes you have experienced, if any, and if there's nothing that has been that you experience, that means there's something more to be worked on, or there's a different aspect of it that needs to be worked on. So you actually wonderfully touched on all the three options that actually happen. So it's either completely done, or it has another aspect that you need to work on, or there's another layer of it that still needs to be worked on.
And is this just, do you do the wholeness process with Or can the wholeness process be done with anything and everything, whether or not it's an emotion, or whether or not it's a situation, or whether or not it is, and those are the only two things that are coming to mind. But
Yeah.
like, for instance, if somebody smokes, can it be done with helping to let go of smoking? Or, if somebody wants to lose weight, can it be help to do that? I guess I don't really understand the parameters of it.
Yeah. So thank you, Marcel, for that question. I think that's pretty much something that is on everybody's mind as to where can you use the wholeness work. And in my experience, for the last 4.5 years that I have been using the wholeness work on a regular basis, I've also been a trainer for 2.5 years. But what I have experienced, Marcel, is that I can actually use the wholeness work for anything and everything. So
Okay.
the spectrum of where you can use the wholeness work is pretty much wide. Now, having said that, I found that many of the issues can be handled more easily with core transformation.
Okay.
And having said that, for some time I did not use any other method other than the wholeness work, and it supported my my journey.
Okay.
Yeah. So technically, what I tend to use is wherever there's an I, there is a inner separation that is happening. So if I can locate an I know there's an inner separation, and there is the place where I can use the wholeness work.
Okay.
So if I say I am overweight, so okay, where is the I? What's the sensation? Putting myself back in the situation and saying, okay, where did I feel that I was overweight, or I felt it there? And then where is the scanning my body? Oh, I can find a location of that. Now I know I can use the wholeness work with that.
Okay. So that's the key right there. If
Right.
you can find an I, wholeness process is a great process.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the criteria, basically.
Yeah. If you can find an I, and you can find a location of that I, so there is a there is a clear there you get a clear signal. There's an inner separation happening there.
Okay.
And so integrating that is what the wholeness work will support you with. Now, I have used the wholeness work for physical symptoms, for my disability with numbers. I couldn't compute huge numbers. I know Krish can validate that very easily. So the numbers get bigger and I go, oh my God, I cannot compute anything now, kind of thing. So all of those issues to my son not liking math, or with his fencing speeds, we've used it in sports too. So we've used it in my family for a number of different things, and it seems to work for most of them very nicely.
Okay.
And
Deepa, just want to interrupt you, Deepa. In 30 seconds, everybody else will join in that. So just keep that into account. So the rest will join you in the main room in another 10 seconds.
oh, great, Krish. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So does it answer your question, Marcel?
Yes, thank you.
That's great. Okay. Anybody else has any insights or anything
Well,
else?
I actually have a question for you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm finding you. Okay, there you are.
Yeah. And it just has to do a little bit with logistics, because you mentioned the value of keeping a kind of journal yourself. And that's the questionnaire that you put together, which I think is very good. But I noticed that it's online. And when we fill those out and submit them, will we get a copy?
Yes, you will. I got a nod from Krish, so I know he's really helping me a lot with all of this, and I'm so grateful for all of that, Krish.
Good, thank you.
So he has done a lot of work with the core transformation coaches in India. So all of these resources that I'm using are basically what he created, and just changing the names to wholeness work, then core transformation. So I'm just copy pasting. I'm sorry. Thank you, Krish, for that. It really works fine, I think. So yes, Susan. So if you keep that record, you will get a copy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Basically, whenever you submit, Susan, once you fill up the form and you submit, you will immediately get a copy of the form that you submitted onto your email inbox.
That's great. Thank you.
And the only reason you may not get it is if you filled a wrong email ID on the form. If you made a mistake on the spelling, that's the only reason you won't get it. Otherwise, you will get the email. And if not, do check your spam if it's gone to spam by mistake.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So
And what is the URL? Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Andre.
And what is the URL of the form? So where we can find the form? So I missed that somehow. Sorry about it.
So, Andre, if you have filled the registration form, you have received an email from me with
Okay.
the Zoom link and the link to the self-report form in that email.
Okay, I'll find it.
So, in case you don't get it, I will send it to you. But everything is on that email. I've tried to keep it so that I don't bombard your inbox with emails. I've tried to put everything in one email. So you'll have all the resources there.
I
Okay,
also
thank
have
you.
a very short question on that one.
Yes.
If we're not able to record it on the same day, if I'm writing it down on paper and then I fill in the online form later on, I saw that we're also entering the date. Is that fine as well? So in case I'm traveling a few days, I can still put it online a few days later with the original date.
Yes, Angela, you can. And just in case you have a smartphone, you can actually download that particular Google form onto your, Krish, am I right? I do it on my phone.
It's actually if you have access to the internet, then it's basically it's a website. You're going to a Google website and you're going to fill it up. So as long as you have access to the internet, you can fill the form wherever you are in the world.
Yeah. And it's perfectly fine to come back and fill it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just pasted the link on the chat window just in case if somebody wanted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Deepa?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear. I saw your lips move, but I didn't hear what you were saying. So I had very cute. So I had sent a request to join the Facebook, but I didn't get anything back because I'm not a part of it.
Okay.
So I didn't know if I was supposed to get something back. Usually that's what happens.
Okay, let's connect with you offline and, like on Facebook and get you connected there.
You said you're going to connect with me?
Yes,
offline?
I'll find you on Facebook and see if we've received your friend request and accept it. Is that okay? Yeah, let's do it.
But it's MC Ham, Hamm, or
Okay.
HAM. No, I think it's just one M.
Okay, let's see that. Yeah, okay. So the space is open. We have about another 8 minutes. Any questions, any insights from what you did today? Anything that you'd like to share? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I tried to paste that link into Google, but nothing comes up.
So this is the self-report link. Are you talking about, Olay?
Yeah, the self-report link.
Okay.
And it opens up Google Drive and it says page not found.
I put the other link from the email in.
I'll put the link again. Don't worry. I'll put the link again before the meeting ends.
Okay, good. There's one more thing that it's a technical thing. It seems that whenever you talk in a more subtle way, the sound disappears, and it's difficult to hear. I guess it's because there's what you call a gate on the sound that filters out subtle sounds, and yeah, I don't know if that can be corrected.
Yeah, I'm going to be loud now. I'm going to use my original voice. I'm pretty loud, I know. So yeah, I thank you for that, Ole. I'll keep that in mind. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
when we do the awareness exercise, you know, I tend to go a little more softer with my voice to, you know, in tune with your experience. So that's
And
the
that would
reason.
also be a great thing. It's just a technical thing because it seems like this. I don't know what you call it. Where we are here now has this filter on that if you make a very silent noise, it will not. You will not be able to hear it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Thank you, Lei. Thank you. Okay. Anything else anybody would like to share before I make my closing?
I do have another question.
Okay.
And that is, I saw that that next week is Reclaiming Inner Authority. So does that mean with the sleep and the meditation, we're doing that on our own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I haven't included the sleep and meditation in our format. And I invite you all to do it as you're falling asleep, or if you do your meditation practice, to do it that way. But the primary intention of this particular practice group is to practice the 5 different techniques that we learned with the wholeness work.
Okay.
Starting with the basic process, then reclaiming inner authority. I think then we go to then we go to what's missing, and integrating roles and identities, and the letting go process. So we work with, so for the next 5-6 days till Sunday, you'll be working with the basic process, just using the basic process and going into at least 3 layers of eyes and then integrating that. Now, you could also submit, you could also do, so the minimum requirement of this practice session is one wholeness process every day. You could do more than one, and if you want to fill in your report, you can fill in that too. It's really up to you, and I will be definitely doing more than one and filling up that report form so that I have it in the end of the 30 days on what I worked on. And so that's one of the points. So you can work, you've got to work minimum on one, and you can do more than one too. And submission of the forms, if you can do them every day, it's best. If you want to do it, like Angela said, she'd be traveling, so she'd like to fill in at a later date, it's perfectly fine, but put in the dates and on what date you worked on. So make sure you have those dates correctly put. And you can post what you worked on, removing all of your private information from there. You know, like I worked on my frustration with technology. Okay, great. Now you could that's fairly impersonal, right? But I could put it on the Facebook group, and then people can be okay. That could be one thing that I could work with. So when we as a community, as a group, will put out on what we worked with, it kind of gives a kind of a wake-up call for somebody else on the group. I could work with that kind of thing, you know. So I worked with my elbow pain for a number of times, actually, till it actually dissolved. Till I don't feel the pain anymore. So I have worked with that, and I know people have worked with a number of other issues, like relationships that they have been out of for some time, and they still feel an attachment to it. Then so there are a number of things that people go through, and you could each support the whole community by sharing what you worked on Facebook, and you can also put in your questions on Facebook. That group is a closed group, so nobody from outside that group can have a look at what's happening inside. Okay. And so whoever's a member of this 30-day wholeness practice is on that group. Most of them, many of them are not on Facebook, so they're not there. And they can be supported by, a regular email that I send to them as to what other people are posting on that Facebook group. So I invite you all to share there, and it just supports the whole community by knowing, okay, what are the things that we could work on, kind of thing. So that, and if you have a question, please make it a separate post or a separate email, and don't club your insights and what you worked on with the question in the same email or the same post on Facebook. Questions, just let them be on a separate email and a separate post, so that can be handled differently, kind of thing. So for the next 30 days, I'm at your disposal, and so are the other trainers, especially Stephanie is there, and I know Mark will be there. So so we are at your service. So make the most out of us. Squeeze every single intention that we had, and have a wonderful wholeness journey for the next 30 days. Please fill your forms today with what you worked on, and that's it. Anything else anybody would like to share or have anything? So you can share it here or send an email. Yay, I'm so happy even though we had the glitches, we are closing on time. Cool. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
buddy.
Krish.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.